This is Chicago's very own WGN Midday News.
All right, now pay attention. Today we are getting some tips on getting better gas mileage for your car. Ultimately, of course, saving money. Joining me now, Dennis Denz. He is an instructor at the Universal Technical Institute. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
We really appreciate it. Gas prices hovering around $4 a gallon here in Chicago, $3.80 in the suburbs. How can we save some money?
Well, we can start with our tire pressure. We have a placard here on the door that tells you what your tire pressure should be at each tire. That alone can save you up to 5% on your fuel mileage.
Gotcha. So this little sticker's on everyone's car. I don't think I've once noticed that here. But
Yeah,
you should pay attention there.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, good. Let's go into the inside of the car. What can we look out for?
Well, on the inside, and we talk about you're driving down, it's hot, your air conditioning's running,
right.
You're driving around the city. Avoid as much idling as possible. I mean, for every 10 minutes of idling you have per hour driven, it's equal to an additional 25 miles of wear and tear on your vehicle, let alone a quarter of a gallon up to a half a gallon of fuel that you're using.
And I know we're not in the winter months, but does that include when you're, warming up the car, so to speak?
Yeah, and you really don't
do that?
You don't need to warm up the car. No, a minute or so, and off and away you go. Our cars are well advanced beyond that.
Gotcha. What's next, Dennis?
Well, we have underneath the car, we have our exhaust. And if we have an exhaust leak, you can lose up to 40% fuel mileage on an exhaust leak.
Okay, so check that. Is that something that everyone can do, or is that need to be done by a mechanic?
Anybody can take a look at it. You're just looking for any kind of discoloration, maybe a hole in the exhaust. Maybe you're actually going to smell it as you're sitting in the car with the windows open. The reason is we have sensors in there that monitor exhaust for emissions.
Gotcha.
And if those sensors get the wrong readings or wrong information, it's going to deliver more fuel.
Now, sometimes when you look into the car, you see a little pool of water, but that could be the air conditioning leak,
Air conditioning, condensation, normal.
Gotcha. Okay. What's next? Go around to the outside here?
Yeah, we're going to come around to the front here. Our tires. In our tires right here, we want to go ahead and, not only are we checking tire pressure with our tire pressure gauge, we're looking at the tread. So the tread on here, in a relationship to our alignment, could it cause a resistance, a rolling resistance that would affect your fuel mileage as well. Now that's another up to 3% that could affect your fuel mileage.
So what should we be looking for on the tread specifically?
On the tread, there's a bar that's on these, and that bar equates to the minimum depth. So we have a bar that sits right on the top in between your tread.
Okay, so you're saying if it's too worn down, that should be a red flag?
That should be a red flag because you're losing traction.
Gotcha, and it's time for new tires?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. You going to show us something under the hood here?
Sure. Another aspect in regular maintenance on your vehicle, we want to be able to check our air filter. Usually it's every 30,000 miles that you want to check your air filter. And we pull it out here and we take a look. To tell if the air filter is clean or dirty, looking at this one, we're going to need to replace this one. It's been a while since it's been replaced.
Okay, is that supposed to be then white then?
It should be white, absolutely. Or we could actually take a flashlight and try to shine a flashlight up through such as this and see if we actually see through that filter.
Gotcha. Now, when you go in for a regular oil change, a lot of times they take care of some of this stuff. Is it safe to assume that most basic oil changes, they'll check some of these settings for you? Do you need to do it on your own?
Oh, absolutely. When you're going in for an oil change, they'll actually go through and they should complete an overall inspection for you.
Right.
That overall inspection should consist of your air filter and such.
Gotcha. Good. Anything else? Yeah, put that filter back in there. You want to be able to drive this home here. Good. One more thing. You want to talk about the motor oil?
Sure. On your motor oil, you make sure you're using the right oil. On this vehicle, it tells you 5W20 is the correct oil to use.
Gotcha.
Now, that 5W20 for this vehicle happens to be fully synthetic 5W20. And make sure you read the label on the bottles because there is a difference. If it just says SAE 10W30 and does not say fully synthetic, that's not the proper oil. It's labeled on here, and we have the proper label and sticker on there to tell you that it's for the gasoline engine.
So again, when you're going in for an oil change, you can tell that to them off the gate which type of oil you need, or should they be able to kind of get it on the
They should be able to know, but even in our owner's manual here, our owner's manual shows us the type of fuel we should be using. It's an 87.
Yeah.
And that's standard.
Pay attention to that manual. Good.
Oh, absolutely.
Good.
Absolutely. All the way across the board. And it also tells us in here about the oil as well.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Excellent tips. Dennis Denz, thank you. From the Universal Technical Institute. That's in Glendale Heights?
Yes, sir.
Good. We really appreciate it. You can go to uti.edu for more information. Of course, go onto our website, WGNTV.com, if you'd like to see this segment again. Dina?